She was sick all last week and stayed home. We reached out to her therapist, so hopefully. I'm adjusting. Those check registers in addition to is in the packet.
Yeah, I redid it. I'll tell you which ones were added. There was just like $600 and some worth of that. I think it started at Gwen's Napa on at the very end.
Well, we always have more.
What are water glue boards?
I think she meant the most boards.
And I got
Most
a
reps.
different one. I got the one that has Tyler's name on it.
Oh, my packets at home.
You're Tyler's replacement, so you get.
Right, but I got hers too.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I had two in mine.
No, there was two different issues.
Then she must have got,
Different issues.
mine were the same though. I bet yours were the same too. I bet you got one of yours and one of Tyler's with the same issue. Huh? I'll have to look.
Fine.
You guys just be up next week to swap it.
Like a Florida Legion.
Yeah, yep. You give me a pen, please.
I can. There's red, make it stand out. This one's probably black. This one would be blue. There's a highlighter, marker.
Anybody over there?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's ever.
All right, we will call to order the Lamberton City Council regular meeting at City Hall for September 8th, 2025 at 6:30. Thing is, we've got additions or deletions to the agenda.
Okay, we're gonna add an RCA for police fee schedule. We're gonna add an RCA for human resources disciplinary action that will go into closed session.
So we want to do that at the end.
Yeah. And then we'll add a building permit, 2506 for Ricky Bush. That should do it.
Anybody got anything else?
No,
Take a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
I,
They opposed? Motion carries. Agenda accepted, and then we've got the consent agenda, which would be the minutes for the August 11th regular city council meeting, and that can't be right.
December.
August 24th.
No.
No, that would have been August.
4th of 2024 EDA minutes,
Why are those coming in now?
So old.
because we haven't had a quorum to have a meeting since then.
To approve them, to bring them to here.
EDA just approved them, so.
Yep,
Yeah, December 4th, 2024.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No, it's accepted. General business, Bowie, Scott,
Okay, you should have in your packet, kind of the same format that we've been using here. Not a whole lot to update on pursuit of leverage funding, just
Sorry.
recognizing that we're nearing the end of the federal fiscal year, so maybe there'll be some movement on some things, or maybe there won't. Let's know that. For Grove Street, you may recall last month, y'all reviewed the owner in the letter of conditions from rural development and reviewed that with you guys. We talked about the next step in that process was approving the owner engineer agreement. That's the giant monster in your packet there that's about that thick.
Yep,
So-
that. When was this available for us? I would have liked more time to have gotten through it all.
I think you gave it to me Thursday last week.
So, yeah.
Thank you.
And we left a copy at the, after the meeting last month too. That's right, I brought a printed one because it's so thick, I like to read it. So, and there are no changes to it from that. It's a EJCDC standard form of agreement that is required to be used by USDA Rural Development on their projects with a few changes that they require specific to their funding. So other than that, there's not a lot of opportunity to modify it. It's been reviewed by USDA Rural Development and they have concurred, indicating that once approved, they will sign on to it as they're required to do. So I will gladly take whatever questions you have.
How come there's no auto insurance in the required insurance for both parties?
Let's see.
Automobile liability, neither side.
Which page?
Exhibit G, page 1 and 2.
Yeah, that is one.
And is the cost of this contract included in what we approved and the loan funds that are coming?
It is, yeah, yeah, so this is all part of the, this is, I get your project sort of things. This is all part of the Grove Street project funded by Rural Development. And it's discussed last month with the thing.
So we'll check on the auto insurance.
Yeah, we can check.
I think that's as far as I got in the contract.
The other questions and
Oh, how often do projects go over budget? I know that with the construction projects I work on, there's normally a 20% contingency. You guys know what you're doing.
yeah, so that the project budget is set up with a 10% contingent, 10% of the construction amount
Okay,
as a project contingency.
okay. Thank you.
And how often do they go over budget? That varies a lot by project type and by the bid. And so, and that's a good question. So sort of the process that the project follows, we prepare the plans and specs, those are in progress. Then the project is bid to the contractors. And then at that point, USDA Rural Development reviews all those. And if a subsequent funding package is needed. Which there were a number of years there that was happening with great frequency. Then they would bring another funding package, loan and grant or whatever it looks like for their kind of funding formulas for you to consider prior to moving forward with awarding that project to the contractor.
Okay.
So their subsequent funding packages were real reality for a lot of the early 2000s, the 2020s. So last 5 years or so, there's a lot of that going on. We're seeing less of it now. So we're not, our engineers' estimates aren't coming in just a little bit. The contractors' bid are coming in lower than that. So we feel good about that. And but we'll see once the contractors supply it out first, so.
Okay.
But that's a great question. Yeah, the bids come in high, what happens? So ARD is one of them.
Cause didn't we have the bids that we looked at last time and we agreed on one of them?
That one is the lead service line replacement project.
Okay.
We're trying to do two different projects.
Yeah,
It's- Well, we're trying to do 3 or 4 different projects, but we're waiting for money for all those, so. Including this one at the moment. So what do we need then? A motion to execute the owner engineer agreement?
Yep, and I would say likely with the completing the auto insurance. Is blank, but should not be. I would say that those amounts would be what it would be recommended by your attorney. I think would be probably the way to go.
What's our, what's the exact question?
For the.
Yeah.
The,
So obviously, so I didn't have a copy of this. Right. Yeah, I'm sorry, I make sure. It does look like a fairly standard one, so. Will we action here tonight, or will this be acceptable if we get that updated? And have it reviewed next month?
yeah, that would be.
But that's a
Okay,
later-
like, when is it supposed to be advertised, and what's
Well, so there's a couple of items kind of happening in parallel, so we've got to get some of these items related to that special assessment process starting to roll. And so you guys had previously acted on kind of essentially ordering that feasibility study. And so once this is in place, I think then finalize that, get that part going. And then a special assessment process, that's a thing that's some of these steps are a month at a time sort of thing. So I would think, we really would be looking to put it out to bid late winter, spring,
Okay.
that sort of thing.
We have-
Obviously, the work's not gonna happen in the next couple months, so.
okay.
So if we could continue to next month, then we could get the insurance and get it.
So it doesn't delay things by not approving this,
Right.
Yeah,
correct?
Correct.
Okay.
You don't wait
I know
too long, but
Some things you need approved in case, funds come available or bigger government than us shifts and we need to be able to move faster. So I didn't know. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so the actions they took last month gets the funding kind of in place, so, yeah. Okay. So we'll hold on to that one for next month, and then the assessment, the process, again, we've got kind of the roadmap listed there. The next is really preparing that feasibility report, accepting that, and then some public hearings and so on there. So those are all upcoming steps. Lead service lines, we're on the inventory side of things. We've got round two, Mr. Department of Health Inventory Technical Assistance Grant Program. Is working on classifying those unknowns and providing that annual inventory update. We will be mailing out letters next week to the properties with unknown customer side service lines. There's about 38 of those. So we'll get those sent out. We'll provide some door-to-door outreach. Again, this will feel real similar to last year, but it's just the ones that haven't been classified yet. So again, why did my neighbor get something? Why didn't I? It's all, if your service line on the private property side is unknown, those are the folks we're working with. So, and again, there's about 38 of those. We'll have staff in town, September 23rd through 25th. It's Tuesday through Thursday, for appointments, door to door. Just really working on getting those knocked out. Again, property owners can do it on their own. Made real clear to them. Don't want some strange person coming in their house. They can self-service, report the information. It's very easy. But if they prefer to have somebody else take care of that, totally fine too. So if the option to kind of make an appointment during that time frame, and then also our guy will be kind of going door to door. So
You'll give me a list of addresses.
yep. So that's on the customer side. On the city-owned side of things, from the main to the curb stop, again, that part's really about reviewing plans and documents from prior construction projects. We feel like we did a pretty thorough job of combing through all of the archives and everything last time, so I don't expect any change on that unless you guys find some other file cabinet somewhere. And if you do, please let me know. We'd love to look at it. And then the third item on that is Silversmith Data, the GIS-based asset management system. So the city's able to get the first year of subscription to that covered through the grant program. So it gives staff an option or an opportunity to try that out, see if they like that, having essentially a computer-based, map-based way to track these water system assets. So that's provided through this grant program for the first year. Subscription-based service. So if you decide that, hey, this is great, we'd like to continue this, that's a thing that can be continued. But the MDH grant program covers just that first year. And then that renewal is at $1,234 a year. So if that's a thing that say you want to budget for 2027, then that's, a thing you can do.
And this subscription service is just up-to-date information on what pipes have been replaced and who's got what where?
So it's a GIS-based asset management system, which means it's lives in the computer and is map-based. And it's essentially a map-based database of the utility infrastructure.
So it would let you know where your curb stops are, your curb boxes out in the middle of the streets, your water hydrants. It would essentially, I'm assuming if you had a project where it was GPS the pipe, that would be GPS directly into that mapping system. So it would be like, it is right here.
So it's a tool for public works staff to be able to keep track of all of these other, in a way other than stacks of old paper maps, essentially. And they can use it to do things like keep track of when they're flushing hydrants or exercising gate valves and making sure that those maintenance tasks are being performed on their schedule. That
Even your locates. Like anytime we go over, one call comes in, we have to go out and find our utilities. And right now it can be a little challenging at times, but We make it work.
So it works for drinking water infrastructure, wastewater infrastructure. There's a lot of capability in there. You can put dog licenses in there if you really want to use that to track where your dog license, all kind of stuff. And so again, kind of that initial setup and first year of subscription is all included in that grant. And if it's a thing you're interested in continuing, you're able to do that. If you don't want to, you can stop. Doesn't cost you anything. That's the deal. So it really gives an opportunity for Justin to try it out. Justin and Val, see what they think, see if they like it. Get some information in there and some training on how to use it. It's kind of covered by the grant, so.
Kind of assume even if we don't take the subscription right away, that information is stored somewhere. I
That's
mean,
correct.
So I mean, it's, if we decide 5 years down the road or whatever that we wanna
Yeah,
ramp it up, we would.
yep, you own the data and they host it for you, so. So yeah, so that's in progress. That's kind of in the works and getting set up. And then again, just a reminder to budget for that if you, turns out you'll. So. There are a number of different such systems that are available financially. We sort of gravitated towards this one through Silversmith just because it's pretty affordable. There are a lot of other ones that you do a lot more in there. That's, I can't imagine you would ever use sort of thing. So there's, you can jump real deep into that into the pool. That's great for some cities, but for cities of your size, it's a pretty good option. So that's what's going on the inventory technical assistance grant program side of things. Also happening on the lead service line side of things, service line replacements. So that's the one where we reviewed the bids on that last month. We got the last of the insurance and everything in from the contractor on that. So we're kind of working through those steps on getting that project rolling. They actually got the last of their stuff in today. I got some shop drawings and submittals to review. I reviewed those and get those back to the contractor. So really the next step is to have our pre-construction meeting to just kind of go over some of the details of the project with them, and then they'll get started. So that's rolling right along. Again, that's for replacement of those 25 service lines where it's just the customer side that needs replacement. And this is all covered with grant funds from the state. All that. Construction, engineering, the whole deal. So. Questions on that? So if you're one of those lucky 25, it's coming up. Get ready. Other questions? Anything at all?
I do not.
Anything else?
And you'll be sending those letters out directly to those homeowners, correct?
That's right.
I guess I did. The question.
That's an easy one.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Brad.
Listen, my name's-
Yes.
We've got Matt, meeting recommendation. Good to see you, Matt.
Yeah, hi. Been a while since
Yeah.
I've been here, so. Yeah, give me a copy of that, the contract though.
Yeah.
Yeah. thanks. I already signed all the attorney stuff on it, so. Yeah, just want to touch base, obviously, you guys have had some fun meetings lately, and so. Wanted to touch base, kind of just updating a bunch of my cities on different things. So first, one of the things I wanted to just present you guys with. that we found very effective in a lot of our cities is when there are citizen comments and meetings. Capping those at a 3-minute presentation. These meetings are for you to get work done. Some of that involves hearing from people about their concerns. You want to be accessible to obviously the electorate, but at the same time, if you have someone who has 15-20 minutes of comment and you've got 3 or 4 of them at a meeting, you're adding an hour and a half to your time, but also to their time. And that's not really best use of citizen resources, right? So, as city council people, one of the things we want to make sure you're doing is talking to people outside of meetings, getting information that way. Meetings are a place for, yes, some public comment, but generally speaking, we recommend a cap of 3 minutes. Second, usually very little council response. Because one of the things that can happen is someone can be testifying to something very emotional, right? And you want to, empathize with them, sympathize with them, and you're not necessarily considering all of the angles that you need to consider as a city council member. So generally speaking, put a 3-minute cap on it, and don't respond. You can thank people for the information, thank people for coming forward. If you have specific follow-up questions for an individual, you can expand that 3 minutes. But generally speaking, that should be, limited, and that's not their 3 minutes, that's your council time, right? So the idea is, okay, well, I have, we've got 2 or 3 follow-up questions. Please answer them as quickly as possible so that we can move on to the next. So that's one of the things I wanted to address. The other thing I wanted to kind of throw your way, this is a reminder. I don't think it's been an issue here recently, but it has been an issue in some of the other cities that I represent. So I'm just using this as an opportunity as a general reminder. As a city council, you guys act together, right? You're the 5 fingers that make up the fist, right? And so no individual city council member has the authority of the council to authorize a project, or tell a contractor that you're sure that their work is going to be fine, or accept a contractor's bid, or contract on behalf of the city. Is that it's been an issue in some other places, so we're not too worried about it anywhere. Things have been caught and nipped to the bud, but we don't want to make sure that we understand that official actions need to be taken as far as projects go and things like that. So public bidding amounts, if a project is $25,000 or more, you need to have 2 quotes. If it's $175,000 or more, you need to publicly bid it. If you really shouldn't be breaking project into like part A and part B, if it's one project to get under those thresholds, I'll just follow through to the right process.
Did you say 175?
175.
We always thought it was 75. didn't
It went up.
Oh, it did.
In the last year and a half.
Okay.
Years.
Okay.
So those amounts jumped considerably.
Yeah.
So, which was nice. So
Yeah.
made things a lot easier. So. But yeah, just wanted to, I guess, just kind of remind everyone of those things. We've got a time set up coming up here for new council to kind of run through some of the handbook material that comes from the League of Minnesota Cities.
Oh, good, because I've been reading online and I hate reading stuff online. I want it.
I'll say it's gonna be a lot of the same stuff, probably. You're probably finding a lot of.
Oh, but I can take notes on paper.
Yeah, so we'll throw some stuff your way and that'll be helpful. And if anyone ever, again, the other thing is, as the city attorney, I can answer individual questions, right? You can have those individual questions and I can answer them for you and provide that advice to the city. That is providing advice to the city. If they branch into a personal role as opposed to a city council role, I'll let you know that. And I'll say, oh, that sounds like that's a Liddell question, right? That's nope, something else. So we'll talk about that. We can do that separately, but from a city perspective, right? You've got access to advice and counsel, and we're here to provide that, so. Just making sure everyone, knows that. Anything else you want me to touch on?
No, but will you stay for the closed session on employee?
Sure.
That's it.
All right, so
We'll try to get through it
I'll
quick.
let you move along.
Thank you. Where are we at now? Petitions, requests, communications. Citizens complaint, Hebert update. Spray those, knock them down, what'd you do?
No,
He
it
was-
says in here that he did it
He
himself.
went and knocked it down. Then we went and sprayed it and everything, and then I went and measured it out, and marked it out where the edge of our stuff is. Flagged everything down too, so.
Good. So I have a question about this space. This is our property that have all the weeds? So it's city responsibility?
So about where that sign is. Anything beyond that to the field is not ours.
Okay, because when I went out and looked at this, it looks like a big pile of rocks, which would be hard. Like, I need to maintain my boulevards, right? Even though it's city property, I maintain those. It's easy to maintain because they're flat and it's grass. This is a big pile of rocks. Is there any way to change that so that they can easily mow it?
Pile of rocks is a grade of the road. And it slows the water down so it doesn't wash a gully across their field out there.
Okay. And we don't have any drainage there that could take care of that.
No.
So does a big puddle pile up at the end of the street?
Yep, and then slowly drains out instead of rushing across this field.
Is there any way we could do something different so these weeds aren't coming back every year? Like get a great big weed sprayer and go around and spray all the streets and all the spots that have weeds?
Sure can.
Yeah, we'll have to
And you
look
said-
into that if.
Hers is only to that post.
Okay.
So what we own is from the street to the post.
What would be the
Is
field
that about
owner?
3 feet? I mean, that,
No,
to that sign?
But then the stuff behind that,
Is not ours.
so they could change that and then it would, if they wanted to grade it and put down dirt, so it's easier to mow?
They're just gonna still be weeds, I think is what they're trying to.
that would be up to the farmer to
The farmer owns that.
do that, I believe. So that's been piled up like that with rock and everything since that addition was built. Ever since I was a tiny little kid out there, that's always been rocks and stuff like that, that's. It's to slow the water down, so we don't wash across that.
So I doubt the farmer probably would change it, cause then it would affect his field, right? Or potentially could,
Yeah.
and if you get a hard enough of a rain.
It's probably one of those things, and I haven't been out there and actually looked at it, but it's one of those things where. Somebody moves into a neighborhood and then wants to change what's been there for 20 years. But doesn't mean weeds shouldn't be sprayed, so if what you used in the past to spray weeds is gone, then we should line something up for next year so that we have.
Yeah, I don't expect you to use
Better-
your,
better.
expectation is that you do not have to use your own equipment, so if the city doesn't have something, then I guess the city needs
So we've
to.
had a lot of complaints on it this year, so we just will line something up to do it with next
I
year.
was doing some online shopping and we can get a 200-gallon one for about $3,000, pull behind the lawnmower.
So, anything else on that?
So that should be.
Building zoning permit requests? The new one's the only one we got, right?
Now there's the Meadowland.
The Meadowland one for the tank.
I missed that?
If you-
Oh, that's right, yeah, remember that now. Do that one first then.
And the Meadowland one, I did talk to Eric on that, he didn't have any dimensions on the building permit, so I called him. He's well within the setbacks, everything on that, and then we also talked to the MPCA. About what he's putting in as far as containment for spill and everything, cause that was another concern about this. For the well head protection part of it. And everything was there. Within spec on all that, so.
Okay.
Do you want to make a
I'll
motion?
make a
on that?
motion.
I'll second it.
A motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. By opposed? Motion carries. And then the new one. Ricky Bush. Signed off already. It was on
It was on the top, my eyes were broken today. Justin signed off on it. I'll make another motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. By opposed? Carries.
Oh, and the other one was the.
Well,
Facility, and we have 90 days to approve or not approve it, whatever. I don't know that we have much legs to stand on. I did send it out to Nick Bush in the county. And then he had a question back to this company and I have not seen a response, so I need to check with Nick and see if he's gotten a response or not, but.
So what exactly is this? Is it a hole in the ground that they put the
It's a
cover
pole.
over?
Well, they can put in their own pole or they can put it on an existing pole that's there. This one would be for a new pole. And then it's basically to extend 5G coverage. They want to do it right in front of the school, and Nick's concern about it was a foot off the curb. He's like, well, the plowing and things, can we push this back a little bit? And I haven't heard anything. I haven't seen the response, but that was his biggest concern, is just that placement of it.
So we'd be better off just tabling it.
Table it for now, but I just want you guys to be aware of it, because this is news to me, our new grounds.
Yeah, I'd never heard of it, I guess, but
So we had, yeah, we definitely did county approvals and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
So yeah, I haven't seen if he gotten a response. I was gonna contact him and say, hey. It's not just close reply all. or
What about the schools? Any thoughts or?
I suppose they don't even probably know about it, because it's in the right of way.
yeah, they wouldn't have much.
No.
I think what Nick was kind of asking him is to ask for cities to put it on city ground, or not city ground, school ground. So that it was on the backside of that sidewalk, so that it wasn't an issue for plowing.
Yeah.
Snow removal, as far as piling it up and whatever.
Yeah, put off the curb. They have it.
Right, that's.
Wing sticking out, you'll hit it and.
There'd be a lot of damage there, but,
Yeah,
Right.
I don't know.
well, anyway, we'll table that one then, so. RCA. Stavna shipping container.
So I talked to Chad today, he doesn't feel we have an agreement in place yet. He would like reimbursement for the site prep, and he would like a reason as to why he has to move it other than the neighbor's complaints. Reiterate the fact that he tries to keep his properties looking good in the container. It's an awful color, it's not rusty, it looks better than some houses in town.
Well, he asked if he could put a portable storage shed. Were those the words he used?
It's been so long, I don't remember.
It's not a portable storage shed. And he was told that he didn't need a permit for it.
At the time, Justin and I both believed that they did not need a permit.
For a portable storage shed.
And it is portable because it is movable.
It would be portable and considered a portable storage shed on a farm, but not on a city lot. Next to another home, next to the garage.
What makes it portable there compared to here, not here?
It's easier to get in and out and get a crane there to move it if you want to move it. Here, that looks like a permanent spot.
It's still, you're still able to move it. It's not cemented in or anything.
The size?
That's my,
Well,
Thought-
they can back a truck up to it and load it up and move it, so it's movable, but it's huge.
Right.
And
I think a portable storage shed is 20 by 20, maybe. Maybe. Or one that you can just go buy at Menards, not something of that size. And then you've got the 30%. How much space is he taking up on that lot? And the setbacks.
I don't know, we went through this discussion before, and to find all that out, we're gonna have to have it surveyed. Do we wanna spend that
I
kind of
don't
money?
know if I want to spend any more money on it.
If he wants to keep it, then he can get a survey because a residential one doesn't cost as much as commercial. And he can argue that he can put it in the setbacks and he can argue that it doesn't, that he's not taking up more than 30%. I say we go with Northland Containers, because that will still be, if I had the right location, come in around $700. An hour and a half from them to him, a half hour to load it, half hour, 45 minutes to take it where it needs to go, half hour to unload it.
Where does Northland come out of?
That'd be nice to have on here. I had to look it up.
There's one at St. Peter and I believe there's one in Cokato. Say,
The problem is Chad hasn't agreed to this because he wants extra money for his site prep too.
Does he need to agree to it? Does he need to agree to it, Matt?
The problem here.
I don't feel comfortable going onto someone's property and taking their things.
The problem here is it went in without us. Right?
Right.
Well, being told that it
Didn't need one.
didn't need one.
That's the catch.
That's the
Mhm.
catch. It makes it really hard to enforce when that error was made on the front end. I believe, and I'm trying to remember, because we talked about this. Yeah, and I thought we had said lot coverage we figured was definitely a violation, but that might have been the only technical violation. The performance standards, I'm actually pulling them up as we're speaking here, and I don't remember if there were other performance standards that were violated or not. Maybe setbacks, but that would be an adjustable one, you could do that. So then we have the problem of, well, the city said it didn't get a permit. So it's there. So now volunteer, essentially, yeah, we tied our own hands by doing that. And so now in order to get a change, that's gonna come back to the city. And so the question is, what's the city willing to do to bring this property into conformity? If that's what the position is. The other alternative then is, and if he makes a future change to this property, then we could require it to be brought into conformity. But
My question to you is, being that we don't have an ordinance against shipping containers? That's the other side of it, because he's not bringing it into compliance because he's not technically out of compliance.
the lot coverage would be the biggest thing.
That'd be the only thing.
I think
really.
that was the biggest thing what we had said was, yeah. But
And
there
on
is,
the setbacks?
right, I'm actually, like I said, I'm pulling up the ordinance right now. I don't know that it violates that. For standards. Yeah. So this does get to be really tricky. I mean, the zoning ordinance and the performance standards don't anticipate a shipping container. They just don't, right? And so the question is, well, what's our zoning ordinance? What do we require? And here what we have is, at one point, it was interpreted to not require, to say this was a permissible use. And to go back and say now it's not a permissible use is tough to do. It essentially, gives him leverage in the negotiation of saying, okay, well, I'll move it, but here's what I want. And then the city has a question. Okay, well, do we want to give him what he wants, or do we want to let it ride, or do we want to pick a fight that we might not be able to?
Okay, but at the same time, if somebody says, I wanna put a portable doghouse out here, do I need a permit? And we say no, and then they build a portable shed there. Like, there's a little bit of deception there too in the wording. Like, you could build a 20 by 20 dog house and still call it a dog house. I mean, it's pretty clear we're all calling this a storage container,
Right.
not a storage shed. There is a difference there.
But we don't have an ordinance against it. So,
So they,
But we also didn't have a permit for it.
A shipping container is much different than a storage shed.
Right, I mean, if they're requesting a storage shed and we did, even if we did make a mistake and say, no, you don't need a permit and you do, he was asking for something and bringing in something different. And that's where
That's
I have,
exactly it.
that's what I have a problem with, is now we have this, which we basically never said it was okay.
so let me see if I can find our standards here for residential.
I agree, but I think it comes down to semantics, like. Could be argued, well,
It's the size
is.
of,
it is, but also, right, like. It is, but in black and white. We don't have anything to back it up.
well, and even if we did, I'm not gonna vote to go pick up somebody's
Do.
shed or storage container and move it without them agreeing to it. So we'd either have to negotiate with them and come up with something that both sides are okay with. Or I'm not gonna vote.
Is R one or two, you know?
R1.
R1.
And that'd be totally different if he would have had the permit and did something totally different than what. But that's part of the reason we have the permit process, is because then we get actual dimensions and everything.
right. And if he had said it was what it really was, then somebody might have said, yes, you need a permit for that. You need to apply for a permit for that. I mean, if you have to apply for a permit for building a kid's toy thing off the ground, then why would you think that you wouldn't need a permit for this?
He asked the question.
I know he asked the question.
And the thing
I
is,
think
if our actual ordinance
Our
said
end.
you need one for a storage shed too, and we told him no, so it doesn't really matter what he asked for. We told him no.
This will be more than 30% of lot area. So we do have that. So the maximum ground coverage, it is a violation of that. I believe it's short enough. So it's okay for that. Yeah. I mean, I think, so it's
Lot coverage.
lot coverage is the biggest thing. So then the question becomes, is this an accessory use? Private garages, tool sheds, and other accessory uses incident to principal use.
It's a shipping container on his rental property.
So it's an accessory use. It's a storage.
Is it an accessory use incidental? And that's a gray area. And so we can make the argument, nope, this is a shipping container. This is not a typical accessory use. He can make the case, nope, this is a storage unit. It doesn't look like other storage units, but that's what it is, and that's an accessory use. I don't know what a court would say in resolving that question. Okay, that's a gray area. That's an area for argument.
And that also sounds like a lot of money.
So what you have is, so that's the zoning question, right? Yes, this is probably not a permitted use under zoning because of lot coverage on that particular lot. Number one, that's the leg we've got to stand on, okay? Number two, what's the permit ordinance? Is that in the zoning as well?
So then if he's in violation of the zoning, we can offer to pay what we've offered to pay, and we don't need to negotiate any further for putting his rock down as a
The
foundation.
problem is when he applied or was asked, do I need to get a permit for this? And was told no. What should have happened is zoning should have said, no, that's not a permittable use, and denied him permission to build on the lot coverage consideration. So,
So because of our failure on both points,
that becomes an issue.
format reviews.
So it gets tricky. And the question is, well, what did he come in and say? right? So, right, I mean, that's.
Right,
that's the
which
question.
it's been a year and a half now. I have no, don't remember.
Yeah. Can he come in
A
and
year and
say,
a half?
yeah, hey, I'm gonna put up a storage unit, is that okay? And, oh yeah, those are,
Right.
right?
And
So,
again, it comes down to, we don't have anything in our ordinances that states what is and is not considered a storage shed. Because a lot of people consider these storage sheds.
yeah,
So I mean, it's,
that's.
again, semantics.
Get to the building section.
Well. I guess we'll see if he can rent it out with that thing behind there, or hopefully he sells it and moves it.
Okay, so I guess I need guidance. Are you just dropping it all together and it stays, or are you doing something?
I would like to see him still negotiate with us to get it moved.
He
But-
did, he said he's not gonna pay for the stuff.
Well, he's
Site
not
prep.
gonna, he wants us to help pay the site prep yet. Are we willing to do that? Like, he might still negotiate if we do that and
Which
we
is cheaper.
could get it out of here.
Which is cheaper, the site prep.
Well, it's on addition to the move. So
Right.
we've already agreed, what was it, 700?
700, which it could go over that, so he also says, well, you know, that's just an estimate, so he's not paying for any of it.
And he's got class 5 down underneath it. I would not pay for the Red Rock class 5.
I
But
don't
no,
know if he's got anything.
I don't know what.
He does.
Yeah.
he's
I have no
got
idea.
a rock foundation under it.
Temporary thing, then it doesn't qualify in the structure. So they might not have needed a building permit technically. The way this is currently worded.
We've always charged, we've always, for a storage shed even. So if somebody moves one in from Swedes, well, when Swede was building them, we required a building permit.
See, that's interesting because the definitions in the zoning ordinance do not say that. Structure is anything constructed or erected, the use of which requires permanent location on the ground. Or attached to something having permanent location on the ground.
So yours, the one that you're building, did you need a permit?
I pulled a permit, but mine, I made it, so the base that I'm making mine was to make mine so that it could be moved in the future. So it's not a concrete base, it's a gravel base. And so that I can move it if I decide I don't want to. But I pulled a
What,
permit anyway.
what does it mean permanent on the ground? I don't, because I've never seen anybody put a storage shed down and then move
Like the
it.
sweet
Once
shed,
they-
we never used to have. That.
Yeah, no, so
Prior.
a lot of times sheds would not be required.
If it was stick built,
On
Mine-
skids.
Yeah, so
On
mine-
skids.
Mine's gonna be on 4x4 skids, stick built
right,
with the ability to be transported wherever.
Yeah, so by the current definitions in the ordinance, that would probably not require a permit.
So do you get your money back?
That's $40 I was gonna spend.
And have
Spending
we,
$40.
we worked on updating that ordinance, right? Don't we just have to approve it? I thought we discussed
haven't done
storage
anything with the
sheds.
No, I'm gonna say, I'm guessing not zoning. is-
Okay.
Zoning.
Not
is-
zoning, but
It's in
It's- it's in-
it's under zoning,
it's in-
okay.
Yep, zoning.
So
is
what,
gonna be-
what makes it permanent then if they put a cement slab under it or
Yep,
something?
cement slab would be permanent.
And then it's attached to.
Footing would be permanent,
Yeah.
attached to the house, an already existing permanent structure would be permanent. So if you're pouring concrete, yeah, that's permanent. But
but they still have to be within the 30%.
they still have to, be within- and that's the other trick is. So.
How do you monitor that if people aren't
It would probably
getting?
be better to require, so we could take the position right now. That no, a building permit was not needed. But this is still not in compliance with the zoning ordinance. We could take that position.
Okay, we could.
There's your CYA.
And in taking that, it doesn't matter if he had a permit or not, he's in violation. You get to foot the cost yourself to move it.
Yes, but enforcement of zoning can be a bear. So what we would have to do is we'd have to have our zoning commission or whatever we call it under this ordinance. Call a meeting, serve him notice of a hearing. We convene that board. That board consists of 3 citizens at large or whatever it is. We would present the case to them. They would rule that he is in violation. They would issue a order saying he has to bring his lot into compliance. If he doesn't, we then take that to the district court. And we have to convince the district court that we've followed the right process to rule that he's in violation. And then the district court would issue an order that he's in violation.
Sounds like we screwed up. It is what it is and we just.
That's,
And pursuing that route is gonna cost more than the 700 that we were already willing to pay.
Right. Yes.
that's why we initially agreed to do the 700 in the first place, because it was cheaper than going to court. It was cheaper than the survey. I don't know if I want to put any more money into this and just. I want to make a motion that it stays and is grandfathered in or whatever, and it is what it is, we move forward.
What were you gonna say, Lidell?
Well, the problem with that is why can't somebody else order one tomorrow and put it in?
Well,
That's why we need to update the ordinance.
because we know. There's a question of intent, right? Permanent use becomes a question of intent. There are certain things that are clearly permanent use. If you're putting in concrete of some kind. You're bringing in a shipping container, is that permanent use? Yeah, probably. If you're putting up a storage shed, even if it's on skids, is that permanent use? Yeah, probably. As currently defined in our ordinance, it is not clear that it is. A better written ordinance that makes that clear would be good to do. I mean, what's zoning date to? 70s at the,
82, I believe.
okay.
So then it sounds like that's what we need to update.
So what do most cities do as far as storage sheds? Do they require?
A lot of times we'll actually put that specifically into permanent structures including, so we have walls and fences in here. But sometimes we'll put storage sheds in as well. Things like that, just to make sure that it's absolutely clear.
So can we make an amendment to this zoning ordinance in the interim until we get that one on our list to completely redo?
Well,
You gotta
and
go.
that's way different than an ordinance.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. That's why I'm asking.
Our zoning is horrible and totally needs to be redone. But
Oh, it's
that is
bad.
not- That is not something I would really even want to tackle, because I don't have the knowledge of everything that it needs to be.
A brief amendment to the definition of structure, yes, that would be easy.
That's, do we have,
Zoning itself is gonna be a bear.
do we have to go through the 30-day waiting and all that like we do on a regular?
You would have to
Ordinance.
notice,
We
yeah,
have- yeah,
you'd have to give notice and everything.
But it's,
So in the interim, anybody who wants to get a shipping container on their lot can do so now, right?
no, because
No.
they still have to follow zoning and we would tell them that their intent, when they came in, we'd make it clear that no, we
Well, they don't have to get a permit though.
No, we would say that we're interpreting it now to say that, yes, that is a permanent structure. And our
That's
intention
how
is
in
to
recent history we
clarify.
have been.
Because right, remember, that's that vague question in what is a permanent, fixed location on the ground. So, our intent would be to say, no, that qualifies. And you need a building permit for that, and we're gonna review that and evaluate that.
But it comes down to just wording. What,
And we'll amend it to make sure that it's more explicitly included.
what's your intent? What are you building? How big are you building?
Right.
Well, and someone who's a realtor and an appraiser knows the difference. So if he's the one that used portable storage shed instead of what it actually is, that's intent. That's intent to try to get something in that shouldn't be there.
Well, what do we want to do about this? I guess that's the question. Yep, somebody seconded, yes.
I think it's dead for lack of.
Wants us to pay for the site prep, which doesn't specify, all right, so where do you want to put it? Do you need somebody to go out there and clear the ground and level it off? Or is the ground already level? How much rock needs to be under this? And is it class 5? It looks like he's got the crushed red rock under there now. And I would not be willing to pay for crushed red rock. Class 5, yes.
Say prep could be the smallest of a bucket of gravel to a dirt work and. Yeah, so I guess I'd ask those questions. Get more detail.
Can we make the motion to
I just have.
amend the
Right? Why hasn't he been here yet?
ordinance?
You don't need a motion to amend.
It can just be amended?
I'll have a draft amendment for you
To any
at the next.
storage
meeting,
shed?
And then that'll be published after that. So, yep. So that'll go through the publication
A
process.
storage shed of any size?
Yep.
Because on some of the small lots, even small storage sheds could be over the 30%. Like if I went to go put a storage shed on my house, on my lot, I'd be over the 30% of any size storage shed, would I not? Probably. My house probably already is. On my lot's so small.
And a lot of.
Old lot, house.
And
has
then
been-
those get grandfathered in and all that, but that's.
But so-
you do new things,
Yeah.
so.
So that's why, like, in my head, I'm thinking, oh, you know, if we say a shed of over whatever size, but that really doesn't matter because it depends more about the size of the lot. So it's really any size storage shed.
So no, so at the next meeting, we'll have an amendment to the definitions. You guys can vote on that, and if it passes, we'll publish it in the paper, and then it will become part of the ordinance. That part's easy.
Yeah, I think on this deal, we should ask for a specific dollar amount instead of site prep. You can ask him about site prep, but
Oh, he's sitting there laughing at us. This is drug on for, I mean, the first letter that,
I don't
We were
think he's laughing at us. I don't think he's happy about this either.
No, he.
That's part of the reason
he
he's
doesn't want to
fighting
be
back.
Perceived as a jerk or anything, it's just, he felt he followed what he was supposed to do, like he did,
Thought he did.
and there's nothing. You know,
It's,
You know, and it's like, not requiring a permit because the way it is written.
So take it on the chin, lesson learned.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, this-
I just,
so let's find out if there's anything there that we can do, and I guess we'll address it again next month, so. Everybody good with that?
Yep.
RCA 2026 preliminary budget and levy.
okay, so
Did you have
we've
that?
got just kind of the. Preliminary printout of all the numbers. So this one has to be set by the end of September, because this number is used on what's supposed to propose property taxes. When they get their proposed statements for 2026. Then we go through and we do a little more tweaking or whatever. And then we do the final levy adoption in December, and then that's what the levy is truly set at. Now, last year, we barely did anything with the levy. I have it set right now at 5%, which I know that's not, well. I don't know that would fly. So, you know, that's just, it can't be any higher than that in December. So this is kind of like what our max ceiling would be.
Lynn, you were on last year for the thing, so what she's saying is we have to set are you familiar with this or am I?
no, please continue.
So by the end of September, we have to get to the county what our plan is for next year's budget. Our highest possible is what we have to give them. When we actually set the levy amount in December, we can go down all the way to 0 if we want to, but we cannot go up.
Okay,
So if we do like the 5% that she's saying, that would be the highest we could set for next year, 5% on top of what we levied
Correct.
for this
and
year.
it's,
But we can, in December, we can go down as far as we want to or need to. So,
Okay.
so like if we were to set it at 1% because we don't want to raise anything, right? And then we sit down to actually go through the budget and really finalize the numbers and we realize we need 3% or 2%. You can't. Cause you
Okay.
can't go over
Yeah,
that number.
alright.
So like. So that's why sometimes going too low initially, then before things are really nailed in.
And what this amount does that we set by the end of September is the, I don't know how else to call it, the proposed statements that they send out in what, January or something like that? This amount is on there. Because they don't know, or it might even be December, they don't know exactly what we're gonna set it at. So they'll send that proposed property tax thing out, and it'll say Lamberton, City of Lamberton, whatever percent we pick this month. Now, again, it's proposed, so it can go down, but a lot of people don't know that, so, or don't.
Yeah, but essentially you don't wanna go out too high either, because then
Right.
it gets
You don't-
everybody up in arms.
Right, you don't wanna go to 15 or 20% because all of a sudden they get this thing that says proposed, and even though it says proposed or estimated thing. they
Like
go-
if this is even an option.
So we wanna keep even this number as reasonable as possible. Because people get this statement and they think it's what their actual property tax is gonna be, even though most of the years we went down from this number. And hopefully we go down on this number this year too. If that's what we pick, we decide what we pick tonight, so.
And there's not, like last year, I think we were under 1% that we raised it. Or just around 1%, and. That's basically unheard of the last few years. Everybody's doing 5 to 7%. I've had some 9, I've had some 12s. I believe Minnesota cities, people put on what they're doing. You know,
But the reason some of us have fought for this 1% or is because when we did that last street project, we raised the property tax nearly 50%.
Mhm.
So we were much higher than a lot of the other cities in Redwood County, especially the smaller cities. So we've been trying to
cut
to let them catch us,
Right.
and that's,
So that comes in on the general property taxes revenue line,
yes.
which looks like it went up 11% in the proposed budget.
But if you look at the other numbers on the resolution, because the resolution.
I didn't
has-
see the resolution in here.
Could be right after the budget.
you know, we're not setting it at 11%. Well, I shouldn't say that. I'm not voting.
No, I get Dear Minnesota Clerks and it talks about the library support.
Yeah.
Okay, so the resolution in there is.
And I should maybe sit down with one of you guys, because I got a lot of questions about these line items and where does this come from and why.
What I want to do at the work session.
Okay. Because there's even a section where it looks like we had stuff come in and it's not even in there for this year. Like what happened to that money? Yeah, on the
So this-
water.
This is the sheet right here that she's got 5%.
That's the RCA, but not a resolution.
I'm printing it out now. Again, if you were missing the resolution before the meeting, you could let me know. I'll get it to you.
I took the day off to read this because it was so thick.
So on the resolution, you have to break out your bonding and indebtedness. And so that's why maybe the top number might go up by 11%, but in general, it's only going up 5%.
The general fund on the resolution is at 3669, and in the proposed budget, it's 365.
What page? Oh, yeah. I do that because we don't always get all of our property tax, not everybody pays. So when I talk revenue, I usually try to undercut it a little bit because
Trying to be more realistic.
are great, but if you get less, that's not so great.
Okay,
And then same on like expenditure size, sometimes I'll bump it up just a smidge, because again, that's how cities kind of build a buffer.
so this 879.9 is, that's what the 5% will cover? Is that what I'm hearing?
That's what the number would be if we added 5% from last year.
What's all included under the capital fund?
Capital improvement would be all the departments.
So what we started doing several years ago is we take each, well, not each department, but a lot of the department.
I can read them off if you
And
want.
we put like 10,000 in each one to their capital fund, which, so like if Derek wants a new squad or,
Some are
Can we-
1025, some are,
yeah, there,
it varies.
so she can read them off, she's got them.
The city clerk, police, fire, civil defense, street, clinic, swimming pool, parks, ambulance, water, sewer, storm sewer, city hall, library, community center, economic development. Is who all gets CIP number or capital improvement funds.
And that basically is so that when we have equipment or when we need to replace the ambulance or squad or other equipment, we have money built into the budget.
So that's
Purchase
that
that.
capital contributions.
And sometimes when it comes down to December, that's one of the places.
Last ones.
It's not, it's since we pull it out separate now, it's not a line item.
So this is not the meeting where I get to go through and ask all my questions. We'll do that at the work session, because it'll be a late night if we do that.
That would be better.
Okay,
Cause this basically is just trying to come up with that preliminary.
because this
Number.
preliminary budget is missing the income for the water department. There's nothing in here, and last year we had 225.
Because we didn't set any rates yet. We'll talk about that at the discussion.
So there's no estimated amount for that one, or estimating the others.
Say it's the same, it's not gonna go down. Unless you guys cut rates, but I don't see that happening.
All right, I'll save my questions for the work session.
So, do we want to do the 5%? Or the preliminary?
Good with 5%.
Oh, yeah, I was just gonna say, I'm good with 5%, so.
You wanna just pass the resolution or?
Yeah, that would be,
I'd make a motion to pass a resolution for 5% preliminary levy.
just resolution number.
Oh, that. Yeah, sorry, my bad. Resolution 2025-16.
Second it.
Got a motion and a second. Any other comments on it? Again, hopefully we do not end up at needing the 5%. So
Right.
Val hates me on those months usually, but that's fine.
I don't know one time that I've been on that we've actually been at the high end of what we've.
Well, yeah, but, so anyway, any other comments on it? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Let's see, we've got the police fee schedule.
You're just going into some things that we just never really had a police fee schedule before.
Just get that one.
But we're running into instances where we could even have this. So. This is what we're proposing for now. But we'd like them to start now. Let's see here.
What are civil fees for $50?
Could just be.
Serving a warrant.
Yeah, I mean, just something that's not under city hours and food time. Basically, it could be where I would need to go and testify in court under somebody else's behalf. And they're paying me, but it's not through the city's budget
Okay,
type of thing.
thank you.
A lot of these fees and numbers are basically very similar to Redwood County or previous employer.
I think that's great, I mean,
Yeah,
It's.
created that, I didn't realize we were missing that.
And it's
you
better
know.
to have it than not have it.
Oh, right.
Thing.
And it's also, when you have to do these things, that it's time away from your other duties. So. And you know, what's a dollar? I'd make a motion to approve this list here.
I'll second it.
Got a motion and a second. Any other comments? Matt, did you get to see that at all? Is that
No.
pretty common? Don't really need to in general. Okay.
These are all the ones that pertain to us.
Sounds good. All in favor? Say aye.
I,
Anybody opposed? Motion carried. And we've got RCA for work session dates.
think it's. I have two. What do you want?
so you say in here that you'd prefer to wait until employee reviews are done.
Mhm.
How objectively are those done? Is there a form? Like I have goals and a performance review that we go through. How are those done here?
We have a form we go by, they fill it out, I fill it out, and we go over it. Dave and Leah are on the Human Resources Committee, and one or both will attend the review with me.
Can I see the form? Can I get a copy of that? And can I be present to see what those are like?
No,
No,
that would be a form.
But if only one of them is there? Isn't that what you just said? Usually one of them is there?
usually both, but if only one can attend, then only one attends, depends on the day and the meeting time, what works for people.
But I think last year, actually, there was one that neither one of them was there, or at least one of them wasn't.
Yeah, there may have been.
I should probably, the
To run
directors
together.
do their employees, and then we do the directors.
Who does yours?
I don't know that we've ever really,
The council,
the council.
she's always sent it out in a council packet and then they all. I don't know if it's just gone to me and Dave, or I thought it went to everybody. You didn't get it, so it just went to me and Dave, I guess. I thought it went to everybody, but
I don't recall ever getting,
I don't
I
know.
don't remember filling one out, but
yeah.
So we'll do that this year?
we'll do what?
I guess we'll have to look at policy and see what the process is within the policy. The personnel book.
I was on the understanding that the Human Resources Committee took care of,
For review also.
yes. Which would be Dave and Leah, no.
That is the assumption that I was under, which is why I didn't worry about not getting anything before.
And I thought, well, see, when it came to me, I thought it went to everybody because I didn't know any different.
Yeah.
Because I think it came in part of my packet thing, that, hey, it's this time of year, you need to get this done.
Yeah.
Okay, what's yours? All right, let's talk about the good, the bad, the ugly.
October 14th is a regular meeting, so oh, sorry. The
Bear
15th,
with
I
me.
had, no, the 14th is a regular meeting.
Because of,
When's Columbus Day or
On
whatever?
the thirteenth,
Okay,
which is why our meeting would be moved to the
14th.
fourteenth.
yeah.
oh, right, 15th. 14th would be out then.
So will you have, you're saying that you think you'll have all of them done by October?
If I have a deadline, I'll get it done.
I
So I'm-
do want to point out that the library board in our bylaws, they're the ones who are supposed to do my performance review.
That is correct. Yeah, and I haven't been able to find anywhere in the ordinances or anything where that changed that you report to anybody other than the library board and the board to the council.
The library board has never been in a council meeting.
So then that's it.
They have
The representative.
Right, so
She can't be a representative of the board though.
No,
Correct. To us.
that's what I mean. There's never been anybody from the board here.
So then somebody else needs to come.
I've always understood it as a hired city position so that it would be supervised by city.
I'll reread it.
Now,
But I'm pretty sure the bylaws say that the library board does her review. And she's the one who's supposed to be coming to the meetings to give her report. And I'll have to reread it to see if somebody from the board presents her review. If she answers to the board,
of
the library.
Paycheck. So if that's the case, then then the library board needs to be part of this.
I
don't
agree
know.
with that. She does answer to the library board, but
Yeah,
ultimately, everybody answers to the city council. The
right?
city, so.
But Val shouldn't be doing her annual review.
Why wouldn't the HR committee and I do it?
I don't.
Has the library board ever done a review?
yes,
Have they?
yes.
Have we ever got to see it?
I don't think you guys were on council yet. I want to say, I used to
Well, I've
always.
been on as long as you were.
Uh,
I think.
longer.
Me too.
And he's been on
I've
forever.
never seen one, but
No,
it's stuff we should get worked out.
Even Madonna, it was always them that did the reviews.
Seeing that would be the clerks.
So it's the same.
No, the board at the time did the reviews.
When Steve and
then they
Madonna were here.
Submitted them to Steve and Madonna. And then
Okay.
COVID happened and life happened and
Okay, I don't remember any of that.
I don't either.
Ever since I've been here, I believe. I don't know that we did any the first year I was here. And then I tried to implement something
Well-
more standard.
and formal evals never even started to become a thing till shortly after Madonna was on. I mean, they would do informal.
We didn't even do that.
No,
Yeah,
I mean, it just, cause I remember sitting down
I don't
with Madonna
remember
to try to
Steve
come up
ever
with a
going on.
processes.
Yeah.
And then tweaking it with Val some more. But if that's the case, that's the case, then they need to,
And
I guess,
when-
do that, then I would
they meet
expect them to
every other
present it to
month.
council.
meet this Thursday.
So they meet this Thursday, which means that yours wouldn't be in until, how quickly will they get? You guys meet, you wouldn't meet again
Thursday.
until November.
I can put it on there, or they could do a special meeting for it. Cause it used to be when I first started, it was 3 of them got together, did the evals, set my goals. And then that was the goal for the year, and then it was the same thing over and over again.
See, I would like to see it to be a universal process like what all the other city workers do. So if it's up to them to do it, I would like them to utilize the same form, it's the same format.
I have a.
If that's-
where I think.
I don't,
I think the library board,
I don't know. I never understood that to be
I
that
just don't understand how they could like I have goals for her as far as like, yeah, I think you should go for grants and try different things and do this. Well, how do I reiterate that to the board if I have no say or you guys have?
You're
no
not
say?
on the board, the library doesn't answer to you, the library
I
answers
understand.
here.
I know that.
Library answers to, well, to the city.
To the
Right,
city, not to
right.
the.
So the city becomes, so the question is, right, so if the council says library board answer to the clerk administrator, or whatever, then that's the rule you guys put into place. If you say answer directly to us, then that's the rule you put into place.
So then would those bylaws need to be changed for the library?
So the bylaws that I'm looking at don't appear to say one way or the other.
Those are the ones on the site.
Yep. The ordinance creating the library specifically says, subject to the rules of the council. Bylaws for the board are that's their own governing, that's the board's governing document, not the
Alright.
council's governing document. So,
Like the ambulance has their bylaws and the fire
Exactly.
department has their bylaws,
yeah.
but the ambulance director still reports to the clerk who
Reports to you.
reports to us.
I know like in other places, like, so essentially in some ways, like the library director can be, essentially, it has to answer to multiple authorities. You gotta answer to the library board and to the city council or to the clerk and then to the city council. That's not uncommon, so. Fun for you.
So much fun.
So I'm available the end of October or those November sessions.
There were dates written somewhere?
Right there.
I missed that. Okay.
And are you gonna email the eval form to me?
I'm not gonna.
So when, yeah, which, whatever, I figured out. Let me get my calendar and I can't.
No.
You said October, November works best for you, Amanda?
Well, if we do towards the end of October, it gives everybody time to get reviews done.
No, true, yeah.
October or the November dates are good for me.
Let's see what days in October I need to be gone.
I think I can make any of them work.
Well, we have a council meeting before. So. Other than that, I think I could make any of them.
Yeah.
If I had to.
Whatever you wanna work, make work. What works for you,
I
Val?
mean, the later October dates work better because volleyball will be
Yep,
done.
right.
But pretty soon basketball will be starting, so.
You know, I haven't gotten health insurance. Premiums, things like that.
And then that new, whatever that's gonna be,
Well, I mean, I have that into the budget. I just don't know if we have to do wording or change the policy.
So should we pick one of them two November ones, third
Should
or
we go
fourth?
back? I was gonna say October 27th.
What if we don't get it all done and we need to do another date?
We'll get it all done.
All right, I was just thinking the 20th because then if we needed
normally
another.
Don't
date,
even
we-
have one of these.
But
We normally really don't even have one of these. We kind of stopped doing it, but it's good to have one, so.
28 and 29, those weren't even dates, okay.
27th is what you wanna hit for? That kind of work for everybody?
Mm-hmm.
October
time do you
20
wanna do?
October 27th? Why?
Just don't love it, cause I have to be gone the next 2 days.
Oh,
I mean, I can do it, it's just. It's fine. It's a Wednesday?
no,
no, it's a Monday.
have the right day?
I don't know, I have to be gone the 28th and 29th out of town, I have to leave early in the morning.
27th is kind of what we're looking at,
That works.
Monday.
That works.
What time, Val?
5:30 to 10.
No.
Wait for you.
Yeah, I can be here by then.
5:30? Somebody wanna make the motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Which day again?
27th.
October
October
27th.
27th at 5:30. Got a motion and a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, department reports, library.
Back to this
Submitted.
library thing.
I was,
I don't know where I put it.
it was right in front of this, what was that?
Minimum local support reimbursement.
This
That,
Minnesota.
I think is part of the budget. It just tells us
Oh.
the minimum that we have to give to the library
Okay.
in order for it to still qualify.
All right.
I didn't catch that, my brain's.
I took the day off to read this.
It's terrible.
I took a PTO day to read through all of this. Yeah.
Freezing.
I don't have an overabundance to report, so it's mostly wrapping up all our summer reading program stuff. We've got our board meeting on Thursday where we'll start going over fall stuff and that's all I got
Go through your budget.
on there.
And talk about your review.
How'd your, you would start talking glow party, how did it end up turning out?
Gosh, the kids loved it. 'Cause
Did you end up getting a decent attendance? Cause I just didn't know with the football game.
found a lot of the kids kind of came up during the halftime.
Okay,
So we wound up with like rushes of kids and then minimal kids and then rushes of kids and it was good. We had a great time. I'm exhausted. Just finished cleaning up today. Questions, comments, concerns?
Thank you. I appreciate your reports.
So make a motion to approve that. then.
I'll make a motion to approve her report.
Second. Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Have a good night.
you.
You. Ambulance.
Here. So August was one of our most productive months as far as being able to respond to calls. I look back 6 years. So we were able to respond to all 26 of our calls. 3 of those required ALS, 1 air care. There's 1 fire standby and then 5 no loads. Month of August. But also with that, at the beginning of August, the sheriff has approved that Wabasca will no longer be dual paged with us. So they stopped that early August. So what they used to do in the
Awesome.
past is they just automatically dispatch both.
Mhm.
And they have stopped doing that now. So we're very proud of that. The other thing I think.
I'm sure.
My wife.
Yes.
You should expect.
Yes.
Happy about it. I mean, it is just made me so thrilled. I also think this was put in there, it's the repairs needed for the ambulance. They had to pay for an oil change and maintenance check. They did find some things. So that is scheduled to go out of service the 10th at 6 a.m. And they should be complete with everything midday on the 11th. And Wabasca will be covering for us for that whole thing. One of the things, just to make you aware, it will put us over on the maintenance budget for the ambulance. But we had talked about it and I just feel like it's kind of more major things that should just be taken care of so that it's. Doesn't turn into be more or have a breakdown.
How old is the ambulance now? Time flies. That old already, huh?
I was thinking the exact same thing. I'm thinking that's only gotta be maybe 3 years old.
How long do we normally keep them?
6. As long as we can.
Okay.
I have the same question, honestly. I was like, I wonder how long ambulances last, like. Kind of curious, but
The last one, I wanna say 15 years.
I, 1 year, if not more.
Cause I think it was fairly new when I had started.
Yep.
Yeah, 38,000 isn't a ton of miles. I know it's hard miles, I'm sure. Oh,
I guess the next thing I just wanted to talk about was, I know, last meeting I was asked about recruitment. What have we been doing? And I didn't touch too much base on it. We are trying to get out there in the community more, and we've talked a lot about doing that, showing our faces. It's been difficult because there is so few of us. Some of you guys saw us at High Iron Days, so we were able to do that. And then we'll be at all the football games, and then we've talked more about Taste this season and changing some things up. Myself, I've been talking to people around the community and they seem a lot more open-minded
And other crew members have also directed people towards me. And they're all wondering when our next class is gonna be. So that's exciting. We are working on finalizing maybe some dates and times of an EMT class and an EMR class. So that we can really start moving forward with that. We have the one applicant who's an EMT. That just put an application in. We have an EMR that wants to come back now. He's ready. And then we have 2 students from the class also about finished, I think, next week. So, and they both wanna get going as well. So it's exciting.
So if we have somebody that takes a break or essentially puts in his resignation, but would like to come back, you pretty much have to go through the whole process again, right? The hiring process?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay,
I mean,
just wanna make sure.
it's not much, but.
Okay.
So I think my last thing is that I've noticed the grass is slowing down now. So with that said,
Finally.
I will have more time, especially through the winter months, to start digging into more projects, you know, like the billing company we talked a little bit about. Like, I really want to understand these things
Mhm.
so that I can make better decisions and choices and present things to you. And just being informed of every aspect of the ambulance, move forward with that stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, how much time are you spending with ambulance full-time work or working elsewhere? How many calls are we having during the day?
You know, it's random every week. I would say on a minimum. Director stuff with the ambulance that I'm doing is probably 4 to 6 hours. If I get calls, it's a lot longer. But most of my days are, you know, out there mowing and taking care of those things instead. So we'll tackle all the other stuff. Sure, let's say.
So what is the hiring process? Would you guys discuss that? Like it? What is all involved in transitioning somebody onto the service?
Send you back.
Yeah, I mean, they fill out the paperwork, do a background check.
So what kind of background check do they do?
So this is actually something I was gonna talk to Bell about, so we've got a couple.
And I was too. I like
So
the
we
kind
have,
through DHS, where you fingerprint and then you stay on the roster.
It depends on what they're being hired.
Okay,
Certain ones have a higher standard where fingerprinting and stuff like that is required. Certain ones do not. So, for ambulance crew, for example, they would not, that would not. be hired.
it would not be required.
Like-
Could you?
Yeah, we.
Okay. Well, I'm just wondering, like,
But usually, so we've used a service of, it's a public background check service that does a comprehensive multi-state. Background check. We'll do, depending on the position, we can include. Financial background check as well. Usually we only do that for people who have access to finances.
yeah,
So we don't usually do that. Unfortunately, the service we've used in the past is sold out to a different company and the company is not doing nearly as thorough a job. So
what is the cost associated with going through that kind of service versus doing something with DHS?
I don't know that DHS makes public is available.
As I say, do you think,
I don't know that that's even an option.
What do you mean?
I'm
like, if you're not doing it for DHS, do they allow you to do?
not familiar with that.
Oh, I don't, like, see, that's all I know because that's what we do at work.
Yeah,
Right.
I
So
don't
like, that's what I have to do. I have to go into DHS, create an account. They do a roster, you send them to go get fingerprinted, they stay on your roster. And then you get, if anything were to flag, you get,
Yeah, no, this is a spot check, so it's a, publicly accessible, not DHS, which is gonna be a private database.
so so we
they don't stay on the
couldn't,
roster.
so we couldn't utilize that service because of what they're being hired for.
I don't believe that, but that's a public service. At least not that I'm.
Yeah, we have to pay for it. It's $40 a person to run the background check and then they stay on your roster, but it's also like under like schools use it,
Yeah,
teachers, schools, childcares, like those
Yeah.
entities. But like we're Head Start, so we're not government and we're not school, we're like
It's
that
interesting. I wonder-
gray area in between,
Maybe-
childcares.
City
so
might
like-
also be available, that might be available there.
there's certain categories you can put what they're being hired for. So like one's professional, I can put nurse.
This one says no, Minnesota Department of Human Services background checks are not available to anyone for personal use. They are specifically for individuals who work or volunteer in settings with vulnerable adults or children or for health and human services
Okay.
providers required by law.
Right, so I don't know that an ambulance would qualify for that,
Okay.
so. Cause it's not like it's not like you can be.
It's not daily access to adults,
Right.
vulnerable adults and children, but there is access. So I didn't know if
Yeah,
it,
It's.
okay, I didn't know if there was a category for those folks, right?
Well,
Like there's,
usually we're using publicly available services, background services.
But anybody could.
Anybody could.
right, and then it's just, it's a one and done.
I mean, basically, you're getting criminal history, any financial that pops up, any illegal stuff.
Yeah.
It's the minor stuff that's public, but not private like DHS.
And then sometimes we do employment background checks as well.
And then we also have to run like
So we do
the,
that for-
But that would be a separate.
we have to like run it through the Drew Shodine site too, and
See, like my background was.
yours is like
Yours is much more-
intensive for your job.
Right, much more intense.
But an EMT driver or whatever, you know, it's,
Or then like.
you're not getting into the personal private data and stuff like that. You're getting into
No.
the person's medical history.
Right, but we also are running with 2-person teams, so the person in the back is running alone. I'm just saying, worst case scenario nowadays, person in the back is running alone. With a compromised patient. And potential I'm just saying, it's like, my brain was just thinking differently this week, that's all.
No, it's never happened before.
It has not.
No. No. You got anything else on this?
No,
No.
sorry,
Can we do
sir.
it? Wait for, oh,
You got more to?
next question. Sorry.
Well, the RCA is to accept Brian for the service, right?
Yeah.
I would make a motion to approve.
Second it.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I,
Way opposed? Motion carries. And then let's do a motion for the ambulance report, please.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second it.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Way opposed? Report accepted. Thank you. Fire department maintenance.
So, don't know if you guys noticed, when the county striked all the county roads around here. I called Jamie today, the county supervisor. And bring back the figure and all. What we can do to remedy that, because I'm worried that people aren't gonna see that stop sign
Mm-hmm.
and just blow right through it. They did every other one in town, not that one.
And
So we did have a call in for that. And then Val told me to check in and. With Southwest Glass on the clinic windows,
Oh, yeah, that should be.
I did not get an update on it. The guy's gone on vacation, but I did let him know that we want him in before winter. So. They're supposed to get back to me on that. We took care of the Kyle thing. The other thing is.
Yeah, you did.
What is our plan then for the snow removal? We're gonna go with the same. 24 hours after I'm done plowing, is that what?
What are we talking about?
No,
For
move on.
snow tickets,
Oh,
'cause that's. Every weather model I've looked at, this winter's gonna be wicked, so. Just so
And it's
we're
a
all on the
pause,
same
it's getting
page
to be that time of year.
going into this, how we used to do it was 24 hours after I was done plowing. That's how long they had, and they had to move their vehicle.
Done plowing curb to curb.
Correct.
Okay, and then so it's not saying like when he's done doing the entire town, because when are you gonna know when he's done doing the entire town? It's when he's done your street curb to curb, 24 hours.
You can't park for 24 hours after that?
No, you have to move your car.
You have.
So, like-
24 hours
Move it
to
the
move
first time,
So,
you have 24 hours to move it so he can clean up behind it.
Okay,
And
Like in here when your car's parked there and there's a.
Yeah.
And
But
you gotta
just
take
so we're all
someone-
on the same page, because we're gonna have some issues with that this year, I'm afraid. So, just so we're all clear on that. And then coming here in September, we're gonna have to do another discharge out to the ponds. And we're gonna do hydrant flushing. So,
So I saw the street sweeper was out in July, and in the spring you said that you run it once a month?
try to. Yeah.
So wasn't at all in August,
We're gonna get it one more time before the leaves start dropping,
okay?
because that gets to find dirt, and then we set it up differently to pick up lighter material.
Okay. And you'll have residential streets on the other side of the county road, because I was walking over there after somebody said, yeah, they never got mine this year.
He was over there. I seen him over there.
All right, those didn't look
That's
like
where we
the rest
dump.
of them.
We drive right by there when we dump. We drive that in, a town to dump, so he does go down there.
I was gonna say, I saw him on my street anyway.
Okay,
I don't know if that's where you're talking.
I was walking
Yeah,
the
but
back
you-
street.
Right, yeah,
McGeeville, you're talking.
yep.
Okay,
I know they did my street at least.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw it, so.
So, other than that, I don't have really anything else.
Street patching, we're gonna get to that.
Yep, that's the plan here when it warms up.
Yep.
So we got. We're finishing up alleys here tomorrow, Wednesday.
those look really nice, thank you.
All right, somebody wanna make a motion to
Make a
approve that?
I'll second it.
Motion and a second, all in favor? Aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Sorry, Derek, I skipped right by you. Please.
So obviously with August, we had 44 calls. You guys should have a list of just what all is.
Seen you out Saturday night or somebody was out anyway, so that's good.
Yeah, I was up Friday night for the game, was up Saturday night for the wedding, and Iron Days there at the end, and I've been out every morning for school this last week.
I know it's been noticed and appreciated, the policing,
I
the,
usually try to stop in.
before, after school.
And the lights the first day slowed everybody down,
Yep.
so.
Yeah, I tried to, wanted to stop
good.
people on Birch, so they actually did delays, but they kept pulling off, so.
They still seen the lights.
Mhm.
It's gone
Slowed
down.
things down.
There's, yeah, I've stopped a few, made a notice. People will probably stick around that 20 average. But there's a few that obviously like to go a little faster.
It's hard, 'cause
Oh,
even with the school bus, you make that turn and you just think you're just coasting and you look down and you're doing 20.
Right,
And it's like, it's hard, that 15 is hard, but
but you think 20 is like really slow?
yes, they said you're kind of looking around and you think you're coasting and you look down and it's like. But it's, anything else?
But I just, everybody's gotta get used to. So other than that, it's been going good.
Good, thank you. Anybody wanna make?
I'll make a motion to approve the report.
Okay. Motion and a second, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Are opposed? Word accepted. Administration E EDA,
I put it in the packet.
So the ambulance billing meeting, did you talk with them?
I talked to our existing billing company. They wanted to meet with us and we talked. One of the big things we're having trouble with is the fact that they changed their billing structure. They no longer bill us per call because they're billing us percentage of what they collect. So before, I can attest for this for the other billing company, is that they send out a bill, but they never did any bill collections or try to collect any money. So now these guys are trying to actually collect the money, and that's why there's the difference. So they,
What other billing company?
the one we had before, the one we have now.
Okay,
So they are, it's gonna be hard to tell the difference in like the pricing because we don't have a lot of history of this new way.
I still look forward to you talking to the other one though, because they will bill per hour that they work on it, which will save us a significant amount of money.
Unless they put in more hours, right?
When we've got 16 calls, are they really gonna take 30 minutes? I mean, once they have us in their system and they know how we operate, it's gonna go so much faster.
Yeah, I don't know.
That or they're gonna bill us for all the hours that they try to collect money for us. Well,
No. I don't know
think
how it
we'll be
works.
Pleasantly surprised at how much money it'll save. All right, Housing Institute,
what do you wanna know?
what's going on? I got a list of stuff. I'd like to know more of what's going on.
Housing Institute, we are working on a plan to, so during this 18-month project, we try to find a plan that we want to work on. Ours is going to be, most all of our towns have empty lots that are owned by cities that we would like to see houses on, because then that adds to your tax base, so. When was I there last? September, I was at the 2-day thing. Then we've met since to start our inventory of lots, so we did lots of the 2 that we own, well, we own more than 2, but I also did the covenant lots, and then I also put down the private lots that are privately owned that could possibly be for sale. And then we are looking at what type of houses to put on those lots.
How's childcare stuff moving forward?
The nursing home got back to me with some questions, so we replied to them. Chantel and I went and met with St. John's on Friday to talk about how they do their childcare, what works, what doesn't work, what they're seeing. And trying to get people to do that survey. That's about it.
EDA potential business?
There's potential business that's looking at the industrial park. I don't want to say too much more. It's just something I'm working on.
Anything else? Otherwise, we'll take a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Ordinances and resolutions. We got the financial report and approval of claims. September.
What changed on the financial report is check number 47198 to 47203 were added today. Because of the, I mean, with the holiday and then the short week and then our meeting on the 8th, we don't get all of our bills in time to pay them, and then it's another, and then next month is a late meeting, so they're waiting, 6 weeks to get paid, so we added these today. Boundary Medical, Glens, Language and News, Meadowland, and others. So I added 689.46 total. So then I just gave you the updated full financial report to include those.
We've got the September financial report, the approval of claims, the full information.
Okay, there was no one to get in there again. Good Lord.
There was in mine.
Couple pages in here.
There's full pages. It's here. Whew.
Somebody want to make a motion to approve them?
I'll second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Mayor, council reports and communications, information for the council, REC rate increase.
And I just, like that, they're using their.
So the way I read that is then the demand charge is going away. Is this the same as the one I got?
I'd assume so, and I'm guessing it's an old rate, like they say, from when we were purchased by Interstate. And they're cleaning it up, but
So I know in general, the kilowatt hour or whatever is going up some, but if they are dropping that demand rate.
That's the way I read it too.
I know that's a chunk on my bill usually, but. But I guess we'll see, so.
I never look at my bill.
Mine have all gone up since my kid moved in with me.
I'd say, I don't even look at
I
it.
haven't even had a full month
Nice,
yet.
la-di-da. So next meeting dates would be the regular council meeting in October 14th. Which is the Tuesday, I believe,
Yep.
because of Columbus Day at 6:30. And then at this point, we are gonna go into closed session for an employee thing, so